Kung Fu don't matter. That doesn't count.
Crouching Tiger, hidden dragon.
Wow, it's crazy. It gets crazier.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
You know,
Don't worry about it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tombslayer Podcast, the place where we have resurrectional conversations, and indeed, I just made that word up. Today is especially delicious. I know I say that a lot, but today is especially delicious because I have a wonderful friend of mine. This young lady, the world first was introduced to her in 2009 on the Sunday Best competition. She is a world-renowned artist. She's a wonderful soul. She's hilarious. She's amazing. She's a mother. She's just got so much life in her. You are not going to want to miss this conversation right here with my good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one, the only, Miss Jessica Reedy in... What's going on, sis?
You know, all the things they keep going.
All the things. It is so good to see you. It's great to have this conversation. Okay, let me go all the way back. I'm jumping right in. So
go for it.
Just like everybody else, I was one of the people that was watching Sunday Best, and you were mesmerizing. Not just your range and your skill or whatever, but how you presented yourself, like your story, all of the things. Like literally, you were a fan favorite almost instantly. Your smile, you have this thing. It's wonderful. It was wonderful, and I was really honored to be able to come to Dallas, Texas. Years ago, I can't remember what year it was, and I don't even remember what it was for.
It was years ago. Fred Hammond was it a movie?
I think he was doing a movie. He was doing a movie, and I walked on set because I was doing some B-roll footage for him, like I do is my moonlighting job is what I like to call it. And I walked in the room, and you were in the room, and I was like, "Yo, that's Jessica Reedy, yo." And and it was awesome. It was so cool because you never know. Honestly, you never know how people are, how they really are. You know, you ever been in situations where they say never meet your heroes, because you'll be disappointed a lot of times. But I was a little nervous introducing myself to you because let's keep it 100. If I was in Dallas with Take 6, it would have been I would have felt different. But I was like this dude with the camera that nobody knows. And so you introduced yourself to me, and we started talking, and you were just amazing from that day on, like literally. So I'm going to ask you this question. What keeps you balanced? What keeps you so balanced when you have such a great amount of talent, and B, a lot of people pulling on you? How do you keep that measure of humility that is so inviting?
I don't have balance, actually. And that is what keeps me humble. I cannot regulate my life. I cannot predict anybody's actions towards me. I can't predict their words. I can't control my outcomes. I have no idea what's going to happen in my life. And that bothers the heck out of me. It keeps me asking God, what am I supposed to do all the time? Because the only thing I can control is not even myself. It's my little bitty children that are even more unpredictable. So it's like having the more I recognize that I control nothing.
You don't even control that sound that just happened. What?
Yeah, that was crazy. Why did that happen? Right? You know, and the thing is, like, the more I realize I can't control anything, the more I realize I need somebody that knows how to control stuff, because what am I supposed to do? What if they're not nice to me? What if they're mean to me? You know, and it keeps me never putting myself high. Now, I don't think low of myself.
Okay.
I just don't put myself above anybody.
Oh, wow.
I accept who God has told me I am. I am not in denial. I don't sit there saying, well, are you sure? I believe it. My question is always, well, they don't even know. They don't even know.
Yeah.
And God's like, right, stay hidden. And when I want to uncover you, I will.
Man. So then was it a challenge for you to be a part of a national television show with that level of lack of control and not knowing how was that? What was that like on the innermost parts of you?
Brother, listen to me, okay? Every single day, I was on my knees in my room crying, saying, God, please forgive me for being a fraud. There are more
Whoa.
talented people here that deserve to be here. My voice, I had lost my voice. So I went from a first soprano to this tenor. That voice was just as new to me as it was to everybody else. I had not spent no time with it. I didn't know how to work it. I didn't know what it could do. And
Wait,
so,
what?
yeah,
We were watching that in real time?
yes. And so my panic button was constantly pushed. So I was in my room constantly crying. Like I cried so much, that's how I lost my voice. Throughout the competition, I had got hoarse. But it's because I would spend hours crying like I'm a fraud. There are talented people here. They've been singing all their life. Nobody is hoarse. Everybody's at their optimum level. And I'm like, my voice is weak. It's different. It's not loud. It just is mine. And I was just very, very, very insecure.
Mm.
Very insecure.
So you take this insecure person and put them on cameras in front of millions of people every Sunday night,
Hmm.
alongside the who's who in gospel music for a competition of all things.
Hmm.
That's a recipe for disaster. How did you pull it together?
Here's what I prayed. I have recognized, I read in the scripture where the Bible says that the king's heart is in God's hand and he turn it whichever way he wants. So I would
Yeah.
say this. I said, God, you're the only one can make them like me. Lord, make them like me. That's what I would say. That's
Jeez.
all I could say. I have my family in the
Wow.
audience. My son, my oldest son, he was just a little baby. He was in the audience. And that pressure of disappointing them was on me. Knowing that my voice,
Mm.
I come from a musical family, so they knew my voice was not ready. They like, ain't no way. I remember
Mm.
my uncle said to me, niece, I love you. This how he talk. Niece, I love you. And you know, I'm gonna tell you straight. You're not gonna win this. He's like,
Good
I
Lord.
promise you. He's like, you're not gonna win this.
Thanks, Unc.
My entire family packed up their bags and was maybe 3 or 4 hours up the road back to Michigan when they got a call. Jessica's still in the competition. They didn't eliminate her. This is so on the back end, I'm dealing with a lot. Like,
Yeah.
and so yeah. So yeah, that's what's going.
So so let's talk about that because a couple of weeks ago we had a guest on who was on American Idol. She was one of the finalists on season 12 of American Idol, Rachel Hale, and her family, it was the exact opposite. They were supportive from day one, from the jump, from 10 years old all the way to the end. So she had that sense of acceptance and support. For you, the bottom fell out.
Yeah, I've never experienced that. I couldn't tell you what that feel like. The only
Mm.
person that I can tell you who has consistently supported me was my mentor, John Pugh. I call him my mentor because he just would not take no for an answer. He was the president of the Saginaw chapter of NAACP AXO. So AXO is where all the high school kids, they put their talents, whether you in technology, acting, whatever you do, then they do this national competition, right? So my aunt one day, she was like, I want you to meet this man because my dad had just died. And I fell into a depression. And I thank God my aunt was kind enough to introduce me to this man. Well, I have stage fright.
Mm-hmm.
I've always
Mm.
suffered from very high strong anxiety. So I always had anxiety attacks. I grew up in a very hostile environment. So I used to have really bad panic attacks. So being on a
Wow.
stage with people watching me, I my legs, everything would do this. I could not control myself. So what I would do, I would find a button on my outfit and I would just fidget. I would hold that button and I would just fidget
Mm.
that button until I got through the song. I won every single talent show I've ever been on. But every single time they made fun of me, like, well, heck, she was getting ready to undress her clothes. So I
Wow.
got teased even though I was the champion because you couldn't deny my voice. And so John Pugh just believed in me. John Pugh would not, he would say, "You need to come. We're singing at this, I cannot go." He would wait in my
Mm.
mom's driveway for 2 hours. Jessica, this is an old man, an old man. He was like 60 something. He always looked the same. I don't know how old he is now. He might be 100. I don't know, but I love him. And he's like, "You need to come." He would sit in the driveway. "I'm not leaving." We would get to locations. I remember we had to sing for Nancy Wilson. And we're
Mm.
in Midland, Michigan, and we had to sing for Nancy Wilson. But I didn't go to none of the rehearsals. I hated rehearsals because that's where I would fail in front of people and people made fun of
Right.
me. So I never did
Mm.
practices. I practice at home. So when I get there, all the parents like, "She not singing. She didn't come to not one practice." And I mean, every parent, even the kids, no. Mr. Pugh sat down. He said, "Oh, she definitely singing. Don't worry. When it's time, she gonna have it." I don't know why he had confidence in me. I don't know why he
Mm.
believed in me like that. But when it was showtime, I remembered every word, and God blessed, and I stole that show. And Mr. Pugh sat back very proud, like, "And I told you." And he would sit back and say, "Didn't I tell you you could do it?" And that it was consistent. Now, don't get me wrong. I
Hmm.
come from a musical family, so we're hard critics.
Yeah. Especially in the Detroit area. In in Michigan?
Like, so it's like it was no hard feelings. It's like we just real about it. Look, daughter,
Right.
look, sister, look, niece. We know you know, ain't nobody crazy. We about to go
Right.
home. We proud of you.
So we gonna beat this traffic.
Yeah, we gonna beat this traffic because you know
We
I
gonna
gotta go to
beat
work. You know you ain't at your best. Don't try to act like we don't love you. You know we love you, but your voice is
right.
not at this caliber, right?
Mm.
And so I didn't take it personal that
Beautiful.
much as I just was like, "I just need y'all here though. Like y'all are out there for real leave. All right, well, I guess I'll be home in a minute. Let's just get." And I never went back home.
Wow.
They kept advancing me, and I kept getting on my knees, and I lost my voice. And my grandmother, she was one that kind of stayed behind a little. And I went to her and I
This
put
is
my
good.
head in her lap and said, "Grandma, they gonna send me home." She said, "Why, baby?" I said, "I lost my voice." She said, "Huh?" She said, "Hand me my purse." True
Uh
story.
oh.
My grandma
Uh
went in
oh.
her purse. She pulls out this bottle. She said, "Go in your room, pull out your Bible, and drink this blessed oil. You're gonna be just fine."
Bless oil.
I went in my room, got on my knees. I drank the blessed oil and started coughing up phlegm. All that cold, whatever was trying to settle in my chest, started coming up. Yeah, it's a crazy story.
Oh, I'm about to. Babe, you need to bring the bless oil. I did, need to, I need to put the bless oil on my left foot. Listen,
Mhm.
that is
Yeah.
wild. That's amazing. That's something. And so okay, so now this gives a little bit more context to the people that are listening, because we gotta, one of the first things we have to do is recognize that it's not us.
Hmm.
It's not us. In a moment, the thing that you lean on, and not that even that you were leaning on it, but because you were doing like not coming to rehearsals, not because you were a diva, it was your anxiety.
Yes.
But we can get accustomed to that. We can make that our normal,
Hmm.
and every everything that we lean on, God will remove so that He can get glory. He can get honor out of that. And I love this story because literally I thought that this was something that you had in your back pocket that you were just pulling out, like can't nobody do this. Can't nobody do this but me. Kind of like the whole Layla Hathaway, whoo, the little thing she got the six voices in it.
Oh, I can't. Oh.
Listen, hold on for a second.
Question.
Let's
Here's a real plot twist.
plot twist.
The reason why I was at the competition was because I was the driver. My friends were auditioning. Sorry, it's the emails. My friends were auditioning and their license was suspended. I drove them. My voice wasn't ready. I'm not singing. When I got there, it's Washington, D.C. in January. It's freaking cold. The line is wrapped around the building. In my Saginaw mind, first off, I'm not about to wait in line and I'm not singing. That don't make sense. The people who just brought y'all here should be able to go in. So you know me, I'm all clever and stuff. I got the phone. I said, Katie, what you say? You said you were. I walk all the way to the front door. I get up
Lord.
there. The ladies, I hope they remember me, but the ladies was like, ain't no Katie up here. I was like, I know. Please don't send me to the back. It's so cold. I promise I won't be no bother. I'm not gonna take your spot because I ain't even singing. I was like, please, I'm just a driver. I said, just let me. So I had them laughing at the front door. When they opened that door, they had the tables. You got to sign all the waivers. I go to sign the waivers. The lady was getting. I said, oh no, no, no. I'm not auditioning. She was giving me a number. I said, no, no. I was like, my friends are auditioning. I'm just coming in. She said, oh no, you gonna have to wait outside.
Oh,
Only the people that are auditioning
I'll
can
sign that way
come,
right now.
can come in here. I'm like, all right, well, I ain't gonna win nowhere. I went no way. So I'm just gonna sing and sit down. My heart was beating fast. I wanted to be a singer all my life, but I had lost my voice for over a year. I didn't use it for over a year after losing it. And now when I go to sing, even when I go to talk, my voice is low. My original talking voice was like Mickey Mouse. Hi.
Mm.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay. No, Mickey. All day long. So I was a first soprano. So this low tone, I'm insecure. So now I'm going from room to room and they keep telling me yes. I go in the bathroom and I'm crying my eyes out. I was like, God, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. Somebody else deserved this spot. And you know I'm not good. I'm walking out and my eyes are watery. This lady stops me. She has a camera. She said, hey, what's your name? I said, ma'am, my name is Jessica Reedy. She said, you look very interesting. I said, okay. She said, tell me your story. I said, well, I ain't got no story. She said, try me. I said, well, I don't know. My name's Jessica Reedy. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, and I got a 1.5-year-old son. She said, I'm going to follow you around because I feel like you're going to make it. She
Oh
had her
my.
camera people follow me in every room. When I got the call to come back, it was her. She said, hi, Jessica, do you remember me? I said, I think I do. I said, if you've come to call me with bad news, please don't. I said, we could just hang up. I can't take no bad news right now, please. She starts crying. She said, Jessica Reedy, I will see you in Atlanta, baby, because you made it. Juanita. Her name was Miss Juanita. I have her number. I'm gonna call that lady today. I ain't talked to her in years. Juanita, this lady, yeah, she
Good
was something.
Lord.
Mhm.
There are so many layers. As I listen, there are like so many things, so many, especially scripture references that come up to my mind. And I remember everybody's, most people remember the showdown at Mount Carmel, which is where Elijah went up against the prophets of Baal, and they had this whole big thing and calling fire down from heaven and all this other kind of stuff, whatever. And afterwards, Jezebel was like, yo, if you not dead by tomorrow, I'm going to kill myself. Dude runs. God, oh, that's a threat. If you not dead by tomorrow, I'm gonna kill myself. He runs. He finds himself in a cave and basically is asking God to take his life because he said this: "I'm no better than my fathers. I'm no better than anybody that came before me." And that level of self-esteem, that level of insecurity, even after this great win, is something that believers really have to wrestle with. We wrestle with it all the time, even after this story that you just told. And before this story, you talked about how every day in the competition in Atlanta, you're crying your eyes out. So you would think that it would be enough validation for you to get the call from Miss Juanita that you're going to Atlanta. But
Mhm.
then you still find yourself feeling like an imposter. I'm no better than somebody else deserves this. I don't. It's not me. It's not me. Somebody else. And it's not one of those. Oh, it's all God. It's all God. Yo, it's all God.
That
You know what I mean? Yeah.
responsibility. I can't
You know
take
what I'm
no credit.
saying?
All glory to the
Yeah, I
Lord, to the
can't.
Most
All
High.
glory to God, Most High, God. You God. Who you? Who you? That's all I say. Who you God?
All
You know what I'm
glory to
saying?
you,
Prayer
Lord.
hands,
All
prayer
glory
hands
to
up
you,
to the
Lord.
Father. Prayers hands up to the Creator. You know what I'm saying? It's all you, not me. You know what I'm saying? I can't even breathe without you, God. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we get it. All right. But it wasn't that. It was somebody else deserves this. I'm an imposter. I'm an imposter and I don't belong here. But when it's God who raises one up and sets down another. And I
Mhm.
think that there are some people that are watching this podcast, that are listening to this podcast, that you're finding yourself in rooms that you don't qualify for. But it's because God says, I need you in those rooms. And by my divine providence that you are there. And because whatever gets you there is what's going to have to sustain you. So if it was
Mhm.
your talent that got you there, then your talent's going to, if it's your pedigree, if it's the letters behind your name that got you in the room, then that's what's going to have to sustain you. But if it's the grace and the favor of God that got you there, then that's what's going to sustain you. That doesn't mean that you don't have the goods. That don't mean
Mhm.
that you a scrub, but that means that what you have is not the reason why you're here. It's because God has designed and ordained for you to be here. Now, my God, a part of your story was at the time you had a 2.5-year-old son
Mhm.
who is now 16, 17.
He'll be 17 in November.
He'll be 17 in November, yo. And it's like, okay, so what was the journey like for you as a believer going on that stage Sunday's Best? Did you wrestle with any more of the imposter syndrome because you had a child? Were you married at the time?
No, I have never been married, and I have 3 children. So go figure that. Um, Truth is, when I got pregnant with Justin, um, I went before the church and I condemned myself. I condemned myself so bad every single Sunday that the elders was like, "That's enough." They was like, "We look at all they kids. Look, you see all our kids. But none of us was married. Okay, girl, shut up and sit down. This is I
What
was
do you mean
raised
condemn yourself in front of the people? What does that mean? I don't
what
even know what
that
that means.
okay, what that looks like is when I found out I was pregnant, I dropped out of college. When I got home, I started showing. I went to church. My head was hung down. I was raised Baptist. So there's a period within service where if anybody needs to say anything, if you have any words of encouragement or testimonial, come up and talk. Every single Sunday until Justin was born, I stood up there. I just want to tell you I'm so sorry for everybody that I disappointed
Mm.
with being pregnant. And I went on and on. And they finally couldn't take it no more. And they were like, little girl, we love you. Shut up. Like it's about to make me cry now. But here's the thing. I haven't changed.
Mm. What?
This is the facts. I actually haven't changed. There has been even when I was like in high school. When I was in high school, I was the most hated because I was most loved. And so I had to build up a very strong exterior because I
Mm.
was just kind and I didn't know what I looked like to people.
Mm-hmm.
So they saw somebody beautiful. I saw somebody fat and oddly shaped because I was taller than everybody. So I'm just like, why are y'all being mean to me? I just wanted to be friends with you little people. Like, I'm like super tall. All my peers was like short. And so I dealt with this thing where I finally was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I don't
Mm.
need none. And throughout my life, whenever I peak there, whenever my insecurities get so great and my sadness gets so great and there's so many people being mean, I'll go to this place of, don't you worry about it. I don't need you. And that's when God pauses my life.
Wow.
Everything stops. Money, anything that favor and God's grace brings, it
Yeah.
stops. It halts.
Mm.
Go ahead and work that out, Jessica. And I recognize, I'm like, well, no, I have every right to be upset. I've never been supported. You see the circumstance I'm constantly in. People are always mean to me. They're always doing this. And I mean, I got accusation for accusation and I'm pulling them out.
You
And
got
God lets,
receipts.
yes, and God lets me rant. He lets me try to figure out my life. He lets me fight my own battles until I'm exhausted, until the anger consumes me. And then I get exhausted and I go right back to fetal mode. I just can't do nothing. I just don't deserve nothing. I'm not good. And he's like, okay, stay a baby. I'll take care of you. I'll provide for you. I'll protect you. I'll keep you. I'll take you where you need to go. You are not God.
Mm,
I don't care how angry you get. You cannot control these people. You can't control them with kindness or anger, Jessica.
yikes.
You can't, there's not a measure of kindness you can give a person to make them be nice to you. I control every circumstances in every situation. So what I need you to do is just keep having courage to be yourself.
Mm,
Have the courage to be yourself no matter the circumstances. I don't want you changing. I need you to be
mm,
firm. And I fail because the older I'm getting, the meaner they're getting.
wow.
The
Yeah.
bolder they're getting, the less boundaries they have, the higher the expectation, the stronger the manipulation. And I'm getting even, God gives me even more sight, Christian. I'm like, but I can see you. Would you cut that out before I get mad?
and start and
You know,
start talking through my teeth.
yeah, And so, yeah, that's me and God's relationship.
Yeah.
He's a great father.
Jessica, I don't want to skip past this because this is very very important. You went up every Sunday.
I had this big plan when I got pregnant with Justin. I had two full scholarships in college.
You better do it.
I got, and the thing is, God has just always had favor on my life. The head people, the deans or whatever, they called a meeting, had me as a freshman come in. We've been watching you, and you represent everything that Tougaloo College is. We want you to be Miss Tougaloo next year. Mind you, I was homecoming queen at my high school, but I was most hated. God has just always had favor. It's kind of crazy.
It's
So
crazy.
I dropped out because I could not disappoint them.
Mm,
One day I was there on a Tuesday, Wednesday I was gone. We had a meeting on a Tuesday, Wednesday. They didn't see me until they saw me on TV. Where is Miss Tugler? Where is she?
wow.
Now my plan was I'm not going to let you shame me. I'm not going to let you say you disappointed in me. I'm
Mm,
disappointed in myself. So I'm going to disappear.
mm,
And when I show up, I'm going to show up with my 4-year old son or daughter. And you have no choice but to see I took care of him. He's wonderful. He ain't been no hassle to nobody, no burden to nobody, and we are alive. That was my plan. Got
mm,
hijacked. My sister came on the campus when I was packing up. She said, "Where do you think you going?" I was like, "Jamie, I ain't in the mood." Because my sister, we always had this where I said, "I ain't in the mood." She said, "You coming with me?" I said, "I'm not." See, y'all ain't gonna see me for a long time. My mom calls me, and I all I could do was cry. I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "Please forgive me," because I had a panic attack,
mm,
and the ambulance ended up coming to the college. I got rushed to emergency. That's when they called my mom and said, "Your daughter's pregnant." So my mother said, "Jessica, bring that baby home." Throughout my whole pregnancy, my mom was the biggest support I could have ever imagined
come
in my
on.
life.
Come on.
When I had my baby, she said, "That's your child, and you better take care of him." I'm like, "Ma, I just need to go to sleep." "That's too bad. Go. Y'all get out of my room." "Mama, can you just hold him? I gotta pee." "No, I will not. You gonna hold your own child." "But I gotta go to work." "You probably should figure out who's gonna watch him."
Mm,
And I didn't understand it until I understood it now. It taught me what my decisions did.
Mm-hmm.
My mother took the harsh road. It was very hard, um, but it made me a mother. I kept my son with me at all times. Justin was on my hip. If y'all saw me on the stage, Justin was backstage.
Wow. I love
I'm
it.
going on the TV show. Justin was right there. It's he was all. I'm 19, 20 years old, and I got my kid with me. Like, well, he's like my purse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in my case, it was a little backwards.
I
But
love
yeah.
and I love that. I really love because guys love, man, legit. We can't there's nothing that we can do that can disappoint guys. All right, good people, listen up now. If you enjoyed that episode, trust me, there's a lot more where that came from. So make sure you subscribe to Tombslayer YouTube page because you don't want to miss one of these conversations. You don't want to miss this sweet, sweet hat game either now.